What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. Producer Smitty is right here to my right, and we're going to be discussing two big concerns for the Dubs this season. I know you guys have been thinking about it. Smitty and I have talked about it. And, well, it all comes back down to Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins. Well, there have been new reports that have surfaced saying that Klay Thompson's contract extension, or should I say lack thereof, has started to weigh on his shoulders. Now, some can call it a slump. It's been 17 games and he has been shooting as bad as he had since the 2013-2014 season. So with the contract extension still lingering in the air, this could be causing a lot of mental issues for Klay Thompson and whether or not his shot is going to fall. Because there's no doubt Klay Thompson's a future Hall of Famer. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's got 4 rings. But this season, he's not playing like one. Well, this is why you guys subscribe to Warriors Today. Anything that possibly could happen with Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, or the entire Warriors organization, you're going to find right here. It's your one-stop be-all, everything you possibly need to know about the Warriors. So go ahead and hit that sub button for me. Well, I'm going to break down, did you know that Klay is averaging his lowest 3-point shots made since 2013, 2014, the year after his rookie season? I mean, it makes you wonder, could Klay Thompson just be cooked? I don't want to believe it. I don't want to say it, but the stats are definitely there. So this is either a slump, and one of the worst ones I've ever seen for Klay Thompson, or this is just who he is now. Because you got to look at what he's been doing the past few years. Of course, he was injured in 2020, and then 2021-22, he came back and he was playing the way that Klay Thompson has always played, averaging over 20 points per game, being a lethal threat on that three-point line. Look at his stats this year, guys. 15 points per game through 17 games so far, and well, technically 16 if you want to count those 2 minutes against the Timberwolves. He's averaging 3.3 rebounds, which is less than he's had in the past 3 years. I mean, it's just every category is lower than it has been in the past 4 years. And it's tough watching Klay Thompson not be Klay Thompson, but clearly some things have declined in Klay's game. And like I said before, this could be a slump or this could be Klay Thompson and who he's going to be moving forward, because this has been a contract conversation since before the season even started. You got to look at what's happened so far this year for Klay. October 23rd, the contract extension deadline passes. And then November 16th, he drops his second worst shooting game in his entire career, going 1 for 10 against the Thunder. November 20th, trade rumors start to begin to speculate about whether or not Klay Thompson is worth all this money. And now, today, there are new reports saying that the contract extension is messing with Klay's head. So, I have to ask the question to Warriors fans out there, and I don't want to believe this. Is it a slump, or is Klay Thompson washed up? I want to believe it's a slump. I want to believe he's going to come out tonight against the Sacramento Kings and drop 30. I want him to be the player that we have all grown to know and love. But he's getting up there in age, and not everybody can be an MVP caliber player at 35 years old like Steph Curry. Well, last night, somebody did ask Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr's been so patient with you trying to find your rhythm. How do you feel about that? Klay Thompson did not like that question at all. He got a little spicy. He said, you want me to bench me? You can suggest it. It's fine. Klay Thompson just kind of had this disgusted look on his face when he answered this question of like, what am I supposed to say to that? Well, then he goes, thanks, Steve, I guess, for, being patient with me while I'm going through this slump. Sometimes you earn these things like patience and time. You find yourself. I think history is on our side when it comes to that stuff. So basically, Klay Thompson is saying, look, Steve Kerr knows me. He knows what I can do. We all know what Klay Thompson can do. But Klay Thompson is obviously like, yeah, people are starting to talk about me getting benched, which is nuts. Because, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player we're talking about here. He's very aware of his performance. Kendra Andrews of ESPN actually said that he's been seen sitting at the very end of the bench with a towel over his head. He's been seen hitting himself in the face after he misses a shot. I mean, mentally, Klay Thompson is struggling to find his rhythm. And it breaks my heart. It truly does break my heart to watch. But it also breaks my heart thinking of Klay Thompson not being in a Warriors jersey, because you have to think about this. He's playing his last season on his 5-year contract extension that costs $189 million. And he's not playing like that right now. So if he doesn't play better this season, he's a free agent next summer, guys. They don't have to re-sign him to be with the Warriors, and any other team might pick him up. That's tough to swallow. So the question comes down to you guys, and of course the Mike Dunleavy. Should Klay be offered a contract extension? Type Y for yes, type N for no, because this contract's up in June when this season's over. So whether or not they're going to offer him a contract extension means the future for Klay Thompson and the Warriors could be over. Well, thankfully, we do have a brand new sponsor here on Warriors Today. I'm super excited about this because I know the holiday season is right around the corner. Actually, I think it's already here if you want to count, right after Thanksgiving. And I'm tired of going to the grocery store multiple times. So thankfully, we have Factor Meals as one of our sponsors here on Warriors Today. And basically, it is a fresh, never frozen type of product that you can just skip all the fuss and go straight to the good stuff. You can try it out now for 50% off at factormeals.com/dubschat50. These meals are delivered right to your door, and they're ready in just 2 minutes because the professional chefs have already made it for you. So all you have to worry about is heating it up and enjoying your food. You can choose from 35-plus weekly flavor-packed meals that support a healthy lifestyle and adhere to your preferences. For example, I tend to be a picky eater, so I love having the variety of choosing what I would like to eat for the next week or so. So there's no prep or mess. All you have to do is head to factormeals.com/dubs50 and use code DubsChat50 to get 50% off. Once again, use code DubsChat50 at factormeals.com/dubschat50 to get 50% off your Factors meals. So, like I said, when you look at the Dubs scoring, the Dubs offense as a whole, Steph Curry was having an MVP type of season. He still technically is, but he took some games off with that knee. It drops drastically from Steph Curry. 14 points to be exact. 29 to 15, we got Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Dario. I mean, nobody. Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan may as well be the exact same player. Klay Thompson's doing nothing to separate himself from these bottom three players, and this is still the top five. I've liked Dario's game. He's had more 20-plus point games other than Steph Curry, and he's been making a name for himself, but he's still number 5, The Dubs need another offensive threat, and it's pretty evident. It's kind of scaring me because, look, the Dubs got rid of Jordan Poole. You can talk about the maturity. You can talk about the punching scheme with Draymond Green. You can talk about getting Chris Paul. Regardless, Jordan Poole's gone, but you have to admit Jordan Poole was an over 20-point scorer for the Dubs last season. When you look at the Dubs last year, you got Curry shooting, 0.3 different from what he's shooting right now. Klay Thompson at 6 more points, almost 7 more points per game from Klay Thompson. There was clearly a rhythm here. And then you got Jordan Poole, another 20-point shooter for the Warriors. Then it goes down to Andrew Wiggins, who's now scoring 6 points less per game. And Jonathan Kuminga, who's obviously playing better this year than he was last year. This is drastically different from what I'm seeing from the Warriors this year. There is no offensive threat on the Dubs other than Steph Curry. Now, that can change if Klay and Andrew find their rhythm, but as of right now, they're both at fault for kind of being in a slump. And once again, call it a slump if you want, or this may be how they're going to play for the rest of the season. I hope not. Because in 17 games, Andrew Wiggins has had one 20-plus point game. And that was 31 points against the Thunder in overtime. So it was a great game. 16 games have been under 20 points, and there have been some low-scoring games for Andrew Wiggins this season. So a new report came out that was pretty interesting to me. Everybody knows, well, a lot of Warriors fans know that Wiggins missed 21 games last season for the Dubs dealing with personal reasons. Well, now he came into this season, and apparently he was out of shape, and that pissed off some people in the Warriors organization because they were respectful of his time off. But then you come in here and you're not ready to go and in the best shape. That doesn't fly with a championship level team. So when you look at the lowest offensive rating in the NBA so far this year, it's so ironic that the number one least effective player on offense for the NBA is Jordan Poole in Washington. That's not the Dubs' problem anymore. It's ironic because he could have helped the Dubs this year if he wasn't playing so bad. But Andrew Wiggins is the second player who's the least effective on offense. And then Victor Wembanyama, which the Spurs are just having a whole another issue besides Victor Wembanyama. But this is tough to have Andrew Wiggins right there. He's a good player. So is it too late to get back on track for Wiggs and the Warriors? Because think about it, guys. It's 17 games in. This doesn't have to be. It's not May yet. This isn't crunch time. He can still find his rhythm, and we saw it one night against the Thunder. But is it too late to get back on track with those kind of numbers that he's been having? Because when you look at the least effective player on offense, Andrew Wiggins on the court is making the Warriors worse on offense. And that hurts because a player that was averaging nearly 18 points per game, he knows how to play well. But now you're averaging less than 12, and you're clearly not helping in fast breaks or in dunks or in layups or in three-point shooting. It's tough. It's really tough to see because the Warriors' defense is also having some struggles. You know, it works both ways. Wiggins on the floor. Golden State Warriors opponents have a 120.7 offensive rating when Wiggins is playing versus 106.5 without Andrew Wiggins. So he's kind of struggling on offense and on defense. I mean, it just breaks my heart to see Wiggins playing like this because we all know he can play better, and it's not too late. But do you guys think it's time to maybe hit the panic button on Andrew Wiggins? Type P for panic, type DP for don't panic. I think it's frustrating and it's concerning, and I think I'm hitting my panic button just to at least spark a fire under his ass and see what happens. But you guys are the judge. Type down below P for panic, DP for don't panic. And while you guys are at it, hit that sub button and subscribe to Warriors Today. Everything you possibly need to know about the Bay Area team, you're going to find right here.